This is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer, Ron Miller, and Jerry Keyser.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, August 19th. Show number 193. Coming at you from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio 2.0 studios.
Yeah, 2.0.
2.0. It's the Hammer Down Racing Report presented by Oakshade Raceway. And you may notice Jerry's not here. He called a little earlier, said he's running a little bit behind. So he'll be joining us anytime now, really. I'm not sure when, but anytime. So, on the show.
Have we got somebody to do racing roundup tonight?
I guess it's going to have to be me.
I think it's you, Scott.
Yeah. So, anyway, on the show tonight, we have Craig Dippman waiting in the wings. We're going to talk about his racing. He's raced Eldora, Lima, and Oakshade this year.
With a lot of success at Lima and Eldora.
Yeah. King of the quarter mile.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Big check.
So we'll be talking to him. Also, a little bit later on tonight, we'll be joined by Jordan Wittes, who is the DirtIsMyGlitter lady, who's doing the Driver of the Week deal this year, which we're going to learn more about that.
Yeah.
A little bit. Pretty cool deal. And we got Ryan Weekman with the weekend weather pit stop and all the other normal stuff. We got pizzas to give away. Yeah. Coming at you live on YouTube, Twitter. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hammer Report. Oh, speaking of which, you can go there now and vote in the poll.
Really?
The Twitter poll. Yeah. You got about 26 minutes, maybe.
Really?
I'm guessing on that. Twitter poll this week was, what format do you prefer for the Summer Nationals? Do you like the new format that they started this year with the extended deal, or do you prefer how it used to be in the past, where it was everything was crammed into 1 month?
Seems pretty long.
Okay, I'm just saying you can go there and vote. And you last time I checked, you seem to be leaning towards where everybody else is. So there you go. It's at Hammer Report on Twitter. Make sure to follow us on YouTube as well. You listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and you can also check out everything you need to know at hammerdownracingreport.com. Tonight, we already mentioned that. You already know what's coming on.
Craig Dippman, yeah.
Yeah. He's
and DirtIsMyGlitter.
Yeah.
Ryan Weekman.
Right there's Craig. Say hi, Craig.
Hey, Craig.
There you go. So we'll be talking to him in just a moment. Oakshade Raceway, where the fastest meet to race every Saturday night, brings you the show. This weekend, August 21st, Dippman Motorsports Night. One of the reasons we'll be talking to Craig here. Late model sports and bombers, compacts. There's going to be bonuses for fast qualifiers. There's going to be Jerry's still sitting at the pharmacy.
Oh, I see.
Not going to make tonight's show. That's right. He had to pick up something. So, well, that's sad.
Sorry, Jerry.
No,
You're going to miss a good show.
I know. Oh, we even have a Hammer Down hotline too.
Ooh.
Where was I? Bonuses for fast qualifiers, hard chargers, increased payout, at least for the winners in all classes. We're going to get all the details though for Dippman Motorsports straight from the horse's mouth. You not calling Craig a horse, but.
And you're sure it's his mouth that's talking?
Well, I hope so.
Okay.
But that's this weekend, Oakshade Raceway. Also, I have to thank Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, the most technologically advanced goose and duck decoys ever produced, manufactured here in the U.S., which is good because importing stuff is getting pretty expensive. I work for a place where they import stuff and prices are continuing to go up. Yeah.
Domestic stuff is getting pretty hard to find too.
Yeah. So, well, Real Geese Silhouette Decoys, they're domesticated geese. Nothing? All right.
I got nothing.
RealGeese.com. Check them out there or call 419-800-8100. Check out some of the Real Geese clothing, gear for sale. They have all kinds of cool stuff on their website, RealGeese.com. Also, thanks to Big D's Pizza. Ron Miller Race Cars freeze frame photos for sponsoring the show tonight. Since there is no Jerry, it looks like I'll be doing the racing roundup, which is a roundup of all the racing action from last weekend.
All of it?
I think so.
That'll be a pretty in-depth report, Scott.
Well, unless you want to do some of this stuff.
No, you go for it.
Well, Toledo Speedway is in action last Friday night. Dennis Wisman Jr. Was the winner of the ARCA Figure 8. Skipper Dave Lambert steered his boat to a big win in the boat Figure 8 feature. Get it, Skipper?
Yeah.
9-time ARCA late model sportsman Toledo Speedway champion Ron Allen added another win to his impressive career total. Dave Lambert also scored the win in the flagpole race, winning the 20-lap factory stock feature. Was Craig Ozenbaugh. Dennis Wisman Jr. capped off a great night with a win in the school bus figure 8 race.
There's a lot of names there that have been around Toledo Speedway a long time.
Ken Schrader was in that too, and apparently he didn't do so well.
No.
Again,
maybe they gave him a bad bus.
It was the same bus he had before.
That was pretty ugly.
He got beat up pretty good, but those guys, they work on him.
Did he go upside down this time?
No, I just saw they had posted a video from like on his bus of him, and I think he got up on maybe 2 wheels, maybe once, but he didn't go over. Anyway, Rusty Schlenk earned his 6th late model feature win of the season over Devin Shields and Brian Ruhlman on Saturday night at Oakshade Raceway. Josh Robertson got his 2nd sportsman feature win of the year over Rusty Smith and Carter Murday. Murday, our guest last Saturday night. Jeff Oakes Jr. edged out both Adam Lance and Gabe Mueller for the Bomber A-Main win. Jason Deschler, he got himself his first compact feature win of the season over Eric Carr and Dominic Morehouse. Cody Stetton won the Bomber B-Main, and Devin Goodman was the compact B-Main at Oakshade Raceway. Flat Rock Raceway on Saturday night as well. Steve Cronowet Jr., he's been on fire. He's been on a tear. 3 wins in a row after winning the Outlaw Super Late Model feature event on Saturday. Greg Stude was the winner of the 25-lap Street Stock A feature. The figure 8 feature winner was Romulus, Michigan's Bill Early. I remember Gary.
Yeah.
I feel old.
Pork Chop.
That's right.
That's right.
I don't know why they called him Pork Chop, but that was my guy. I think he had Batman on his car at one point.
Might have.
Too. Anyway.
Always a number 9.
9, yeah. Rob Randa scored the win in the 15-lap Street Stock B feature up there at Flat Rock. Fremont Speedway last weekend. Nate Dussel took the fast on Dirt 410 sprint feature win over Cale Conley, Lee Jacob. Steve Irwin took the Boss non-wing sprint feature with Carmen Perigo finishing 2nd. Mike Miller rounded out the podium there. In 305s, it was Paul Weaver, another guy that he's got a lot of success there. He took the victory in the 305s over Dustin Stroop and Jamie Miller. Jamie Miller did a little bit better in the dirt truck feature by crossing the line in front of Corey McCoy and Jim Holcomb.
I was very proud of the 1-2 finish on those 2 trucks.
Ron Miller Race Cars.
Yes, sir.
Represented. Sandusky Speedway was in action, and we had Will Wiggins on last night who competed. He did not win.
No.
Josh Neff Memorial for the Ohio Wheelman Series on Saturday, but Josh Way ended up being the winner of that. Anthony Sergi finished 2nd, and Jeremy Wiggins finished 3rd. Clayton Oliver took the Renegades feature over Andrew McCall and Andy McCall, not to be confused with each other. Kyle Lawson, that's Lawson, not Larson. Kyle Lawson took another pure stock feature win over Dan Smith. Johnny Newman finished 3rd. In beginner stocks, it was Ethan Rasiska who took the checkered flag over Laney Jedley and Jason Stanfield. This is why I usually have Jerry do this, because he's got to pronounce all the names. That way, if he messes it up, I can just say, well, Jerry did
that.
Montpelier Motor Speedway, it was Derek Losh who took the victory in the UMP Modifieds over Jerry Bowersock and Daryl Banks. Jerry Bowersock, he's still racing.
Yeah.
In the Super Stocks, Lee Hobbs crossed the finish. He's still doing good, too, apparently. Lee Hobbs crossed the finish line in front of Jordan Conover and last week's winner, Glenn Bradley. Robert Tuttle took the victory in the Hornets, with Gage Allen finishing in 2nd and John Ruby finishing in 3rd. Lucas Oil Late Models. Brandon Overton set all-star performance overall fast time, won his heat, and took the win at Florence for the Sunoco North-South Shootout presented by Lucas Oil. That was last Thursday night. That was his 3rd Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win of 2021. Overton raced to the checkers 2.235 seconds ahead of Ricky Thornton Jr. And Tim McCready came home 3rd in that. On Saturday night was Brandon Overton, who won the 39th annual Sunoco Race Fuels North-South 100 presented by Lucas Oil at Florence Speedway. Overton took the lead on lap 22 from Tim McCready and pulled away for the $50,000 victory. McCready, current championship point leader, Jonathan Davenport both battled side by side for several laps toward the end of the race, but McCready edged out Davenport at the finish for second. Next up for the Lucas Oil Series, the 29th annual Comp Cam's Topless 100 at Batesville Motor Speedway in Batesville, Arkansas. It's supposed to start tonight. Tonight's action did get rained out, but they'll be there tomorrow and Saturday, August. Today's the 19th, so it'll be the 20th and 21st.
21th.
Yeah, 21th. World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprints were in action last weekend for the 60th Knoxville Nationals. The story of the second preliminary night, which began last Thursday and ended after 1 a.m. on Friday, was the rain, a fiery crash, and Brian Brown. A late afternoon rain shower delayed the start of the program for 2 hours. A fiery multi-car crash on a restart sent Paul McMahon to the hospital. On the restart after the red flag, Brian Brown took the lead and went on to lock himself into Saturday's Knoxville Nationals. Kyle Larson finished second. Brent Marks rounded out the podium. After nearly 70 victories during the past 2 seasons, Kyle Larson finally got the win he wanted on Saturday night at Knoxville Raceway.
No, that's Kyle Larson, not Kyle,
yes.
Not Kyle Lawson this
Larson,
time, right?
No, it could be Kyle Lawson. A very happy guy, though.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson, he finally got the one he wanted Saturday night. He led the final 26 laps of the 60th running of the Knoxville Nationals to earn $176,000, including $1,000 per lap for the 26 laps he led. Donnie Schatz challenged several times throughout the final laps, but had to settle for second. Brad Sweet finished in third. Next up for the World of Outlaws is River City Speedway in Grand Fork, North Dakota tomorrow night. That's Friday. The duel in the Dakotas at Red River Valley Speedway in West Fargo, North Dakota on Saturday, and the Pioneer Bin Buster Bash at Hussett Speedway in Brandon, South Dakota on Sunday. NASCAR action. Boy, well, we'll get to that. Yeah. Austin Cindric continued the Penske domination at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway by winning the Pennzoil 150 NASCAR Xfinity race on the road course. He defeated AJ Allmendinger, the Dinger, by 2.108 seconds. Justin Haley finished third in the Cup race.
This is going to be Scott's favorite part.
It actually, I think this is what one of the articles said, and I agreed with it. In what may have been the most absurd race in the history of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, AJ Allmendinger won Saturday's Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. On the road course there, the race was red flagged twice because of issues with the curbing in turn 6, including 2 massive crashes near the end of the race. On the second try of overtime, Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe were racing side by side when Briscoe bumped Hamlin, causing Hamlin to let me back up there. There's a little part that got messed up. On the restart, Hamlin forced Briscoe. I think there were 3 wide, and Briscoe was on the outside, and Hamlin had nowhere to go and kind of pushed Chase into the grass. Chase kept going, cut through the grass, came out in front of Hamlin, but from what I read, he slowed down to let Hamlin back in front, thinking that it was like the Talladega or if you Daytona, where if you pass below the yellow line, if you give the position back, they're not going to penalize you. Right. A little bit different on the road course, apparently.
They penalized him anyway.
So he was told he was going to get a penalty. He was running right behind Denny Hamlin, and Briscoe then bumped Hamlin, causing Hamlin to spin while he was leading, and Briscoe was penalized. So really was a bad deal for both those guys. Good deal for AJ Allmendinger, who was handed the lead and went on to take his second Cup Series victory ever. Ryan Blaney finished second. Kyle Larson, who led most of the race, finished third.
That guy is, you just can't, any place he goes, he wins.
Did you see any of that? Though I tuned in at, I think, like 3:30 or something, because I almost forgot the race was on. I just happened to look, and it was like 4 laps to go. I was like, all right, I'll watch the rest of this. It was like 5:15 before the race, and it was like I watched an hour and a half for 4 laps.
No, actually, I didn't. We had stuff to do Sunday, but I did see a little bit of video and a whole lot of internet chatter.
Yeah, it was absurd. I think that's the best way to describe it. This upcoming Races for NASCAR include the Firekeepers Casino 400 at MIS this weekend, Michigan International Speedway. Sunday, the 22nd at 3 o'clock, that'll be on NBCSN. The Xfinity Series will race the New Holland 250 at Michigan International Speedway on Saturday at 3:30 on NBCSN. And the trucks, they're at Gateway for the Gateway 200. Actually, it's Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Scott, I think NASCAR has lost a whole lot of stature without them being on major network TV.
I think that's that is a problem. That, and you never know which it's always been a problem for them.
Baseball is pretty much the same way.
You never know what channel they're going to be on.
Exactly.
On cable, they're going to be on the broadcast. Are they going to be on this channel? But yeah, I don't know. They got some things to work out there. The trucks will be racing tomorrow night on FS1 at 9 o'clock. The NTT IndyCar series raced at Indy as well. Will Power took his 40th NTT IndyCar victory as he dominated Saturday's Big Machine Spiked Coolers Grand Prix on the road course there at Indy. He Power beat Romain Grosjean by a little over 1 second, and Brian Herta finished third. Next up for them is the Bommarito Auto Group 500 at Worldwide Technology Raceway on Saturday the 21st at 8 p.m. on NBCSN. That, and they also cut away from the Cup race, which is another problem, which they've done a couple times because it was on NBC, the broadcast thing, and supposedly there was some golf thing on, which very important. And for the final restart, they're like, "Oh, we're going to switch over to NBCSN." So, and not everybody has cable or access to that. So, I mean, to me, that'd be a major turn. I'm not going to watch a NASCAR race where I might be able to get to watch up until the final 2 laps, and then I don't get to watch.
And there's a lot of people that have cut the cable and they're just watching antenna TV. So it's understandable.
Was it that Super Bowl? Something on NBC. I think it was NBC that had the problem. I think it was like in the 70s where they cut off the end of that football game and people were up in arms
for a dog show or something.
It was some terrible movie or something. Yeah, I forget that whole thing. Anyway, Dirt Car Summer National winners from this past week. Friday, they were at Highland Speedway. Brandon Shepard won there. Saturday at Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55 was Bobby Pierce. Wednesday, Bobby Pierce again at Butler Motor Speedway. That was his 40th career Hell Tour win.
You see the Big D Pizza Machine was second.
Devin Moran.
Devin Moran.
Yeah. And they're in action tonight at I-96 Tri-City Motor Speedway on Friday, and they wrap up the Summer Nationals up there at Merritt Speedway on Saturday. Jimmy McCune won Saturday's must-see racing sprint series Extreme Speed Classic at Lorain County Raceway Park, formerly Lorain County Speedway. After a mechanical failure knocked him out of the heat race, McCune was forced to start last in the 40-lap feature.
They had a fuel issue, and
is that what happened?
Yeah,
he steadily worked his way to the front. Apparently, starting last. He should have had some bonus money to take the tail start challenge.
Maybe he ought to do that more often.
Yeah. And one more note here, Kyle Larson again, the BC 39 USAC midget race there at Indy at the little dirt track at Indy. They had night 1 last night. They're racing night 2 tonight, but Kyle Larson won that event last night.
What a surprise.
After Kyle Cummins spun late all by himself. There was a weird format for that too, which I thought was kind of cool. It was like almost like a pursuit race, but different. There was a big crash on the first lap, and so they're throwing a yellow every 5 laps, and anybody that lost positions or stopped in a caution every 5 laps, they're knocked out. So if you're not gaining positions in 5 laps,
did NASCAR have anything to do with this?
It sounded kind of cool, actually. I didn't get to see any of it, but so every 5 laps, yellow flag and
tag team racing.
Get rid of the cars that lost positions. This is different. Make sure to contact Freeze Frame Photos for all your racing photo needs. Action shots, victory lane, they got it all. They have all your favorite drivers, all your least favorite drivers, as Ron pointed out. Get your least favorite, put them up on the dartboard.
Yeah.
Have fun with them. And then, poke a bunch of holes. Go and see Charlie at Freeze Frame again, because he can print out more.
Or Kristen.
Does she print them out too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She's doing some really cool stuff for Freeze Frame.
Yeah, they have all kinds of cool different products too. The can koozies, the calendars, a lot of arty stuff there too. Check them out on Facebook, Freeze Frame Photos Online, I believe, if you search for that, they come up on Facebook, or give them a call, 419-476-9978. Also, Big D's Pizza, subs, ribs, chicken, and more in Clyde, 419-547-1444. Order online at orderbigdspizza.com. Big on taste, not on price. And I talked to Dean over there from Big D's for a little bit. I don't remember what we talked about. We talked about stuff that we probably shouldn't talk about pizza and stuff.
Later in the show, did you have any news on Plymouth Speedway?
I do.
Okay.
I do. We will talk about that. But before we do that, how about we bring in our first guest of the night, who's been waiting patiently with us, Mr. Craig Dippman.
He grew a mustache. He grew a mustache since we left him.
Wow.
Came off the top.
Kind of gravity brought it down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Heavens. Congratulations on the King of the Quarter Mile deal. Is that your biggest win of the season?
Yeah, I would say that was the biggest win. We had 2 feature wins down there, and then we had that. We were really hoping to have a good night for the championship night, but that somehow didn't play into our cards. Luck kind of had something to do with that. Cut a right front tire down about 5 laps in, and was what it was. And Tony Anderson wound up finishing champion that night.
Where'd you end up in the points?
A second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, a little bit of controversy going on the last couple nights of the season down there, and it was a wild couple of weeks, I guess.
What's the controversy? Since you brought it up,
issues going on in the pits and policies, I guess procedures that some of us didn't know that Lima had down there, and issues with, I guess you could say, rough driving that didn't get addressed. Mr. Connor, Jordan wound up having some issues with someone trying to pretty much take him out, and I had the same thing in the heat race that night, so none of which got addressed. It was one of them things that they left it on the track.
It seems to, not just Lima Land. I heard some issues with some sprint cars. I won't mention any series names or anything where there were some issues.
Well,
not necessarily on track issues, just issues not being dealt with by any track or series officials.
Well, it seems like in my understanding from I guess you could say the officials down there was that they're in a position where they just don't make judgments any longer. And that really is I don't believe that's the way a track should handle that. So,
not to put you on the spot because you're a sponsor of this weekend's racing at Oakshade, but that's kind of, as far as yellow flags go, they don't make judgment calls. If you stop on the track, you go to the back.
Correct.
So you're okay with that?
Yeah, perfectly fine with that. Yes. The judgments that they're not making is making a decision whether it's rough driving or a racing incident is basically what they're saying that they're not making that decision on. So me personally, when you have that many eyeballs on the track that they do down there, it's a lot easier to tell rough driving from once or twice is understandable, but there was a couple times where it was just very, very flagrant, and they still failed to address the issue.
It's one of those tough things. That's why I don't run a track. As a driver, I can see things.
I don't like judgment calls, Scott, but sometimes I don't like judgment calls, but if there is retribution and the management sees that, maybe they could have a blind eye there.
I think that you had not an issue personally, but your son that you were a little upset about this past weekend.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So you ran Eldora.
Yes.
How'd things go down there?
Well, we've picked up 2 of the shows we wound up with down there. The first was Sunday show. We had planned on doing the 2 Sunday shows down there with the stock car and possibly the modified if we were able to get that out. But basically, first night out, we ran third place. We were running right with Jordan and Rob Trent, with the front two leaders contending for the lead during that race. We kind of fell off late. The last 3 or 4 laps, we fell off a little bit, but was a great show. They kind of talked me into coming down for the Saturday show, which was not in our schedule, but it was a rather big challenge to try to get the truck, the Dippman Motorsports truck at Oakshade covered and handled, so that we were able to go down and join them guys for that Saturday show. And we got one more Sunday show, the Labor Day weekend. We're gonna be heading down there with a stock car and possibly the modified if we're able to get that one ready for that Sunday show.
This the most recent show at Eldora. Didn't you finish second in that?
Yeah, we wound up getting up to second. It was we had a 2.5 or 3 hour rain delay. Right. Yeah, it was a late show, and it was pretty much wide open the entire way around the track. I know if the green flag was out, I had her to the floor. It was not quite my style of racing, but it was. We had a good showing, and the motor held together. It was a good time. Fast, very fast track.
Wasn't it past your bedtime?
It was, although I got to say that I was, even with the 2.5 hours back home, I think we still made it home right at 3 o'clock. So they got that show through. Yeah. They had the Vors 4-cylinder Hornet cars down there that night. And I mean, that show went fast. They moved it right along the track. Like I said, for having that much rain on it, they did a wonderful job getting that track ready to race on.
Now, you've raced what? Oakshade, Lima Land, and Eldora this year. Any other tracks you've hit?
Yes, we ran at, we took the modified when everybody around here rained out. We took the modified, John Murtis, who wound up jumping on with me. The one show we went to Wayne County, Drew and Joe Smith took the modifieds over there. So we joined in with them, and that was a different track. That I don't think I've ever thought of being on a track with that long of straightaways. That was a different style of track. Fun time. We wound up. I think we finished. We pulled off in the feature with the modified. I think we pulled off over kind of a little hotter than I wanted to be, and I think we still wound up like 9th, I believe it was that night. Had a pretty quick car. We were up battling for 4th that night, and had a pretty good rocket ship that night. So,
and that's a new modified you just got this year, right?
Yeah, yes, that is one we picked up. Picked that up about 6 or 7 weeks ago. Went down to Kentucky and wound up with a deal on a turnkey 2018 Shaw that we picked up. A little bit of body work to try to get user friendly, to have somebody who's not a contortionist in and out of the cockpit. So,
hey, you fit inside my car.
Yes, yeah, that was a little bit of a squeeze, but yeah, we did get in there. Yep.
So what's the plans for the? I mean, you mentioned the Eldora. Before we talk about this Saturday's the Dippman Motorsports thing, what other races racing do you plan to do yet this year, other than the Eldora Labor Day weekend?
I'm not really sure. We're just kind of playing it by ear. The first, the primary responsibility is getting Oakshade and the service truck with the Hoosier tires and the parts taken care of on a weekly basis for Saturday night, and then we're just wherever we can go to fit into the schedule. I know that October 3rd we're going to be down to Fremont. I got asked to drive Dan Hennig's number 32 truck down there. Do
you fit in it?
I haven't found out yet. Okay. I had the truck over and did the body on that truck, and I never hopped in it. I never jumped in to see if I fit. So I guess we got to check that out beforehand and see. One way or another, I guess we'll figure out a way. Always do.
You got about a month and a half to
That
figure
should be
out.
an interesting night, Scott, because I think a friend of yours is going to be in a 911 truck.
I need to get a truck. Somebody needs to put me in a truck then.
Look at
darn it.
that. Look at that. Yes.
That's right. You're going to be racing against this guy.
Yes, sir. I get back racing against Mr. Miller again. Yep.
That's right. Because you ran a late model for a short time there.
Yeah, we had the late model for about 4 years. We've raced against them many a times in Sandusky.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Well, he beat you there in Sandusky, but most of the time.
Most of the time, I've come out with a couple of them and never really finished off the night. Always had mechanical issues, but yeah, we've had them challenged several times that night. But the late model was always fun, and wouldn't mind getting back into a late model again now that budget seems to be a little better, especially with tires. That seemed to be our biggest downfall back then. So you have
what's this I hear about a sprint car?
That's what I was going to say. You got a stock car. You got a modified. You're talking about a late model. Why not a sprint car?
Well, that we had one.
Did have one, didn't you?
We had one. Yes, it did not last long. It wound up being. We wound up selling that off. It wound up being a little more vintage than current. But no, if it's got a steering wheel, a gas pedal, I'll race it. That doesn't matter to me.
Power wheels.
Power wheels. I got a neon over to the shop that when we get done getting the cage in it, we'll eventually have out at the track and probably up for sale too. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Gas pedal and steering wheel is the requirements.
All right. Well, let's talk about this deal out at Oakshade this weekend, Dippman Motorsports Night. You started doing the parts truck out there, and now we have a Dippman Motorsports Night, which is a little different than most of the sponsored nights out there. Usually, you just get trophies when we have a sponsored night, but you're doing a little bit more. I'll give the floor to you, and you can say what's going on for this weekend.
Well, and that's we sat down with between myself and Shannon, my primary supporter in this, and pretty much everything here, which is currently where we're at. I'm down in cabin down in Hocking Hills celebrating our 25th anniversary. So
we better hurry up then.
She has made it. She has made it 25 years, and I'm still standing. So, but yeah, we sat down talking about it, and one thing she has always supported and always loved herself watching is the stock cars. She loves the stock car, loves the bomber division. So basically, she wanted to do something a little special for the bombers, and that's where we turned around and started talking to Chrissy. We went through and talked to them about qualifying and managed to get them to open up to somehow qualify us. And we found what the best of both worlds, how we can run the format and still be able to qualify to get that in the same night. So basically, we elevated all the prize money as far as the to win, and then we brought in one thing to try to challenge some of the racers and kind of spread some of that out was the Hard Charger Awards. We're going to be giving out the Hard Charger Awards for each of the A mains. In addition to, we're going to be doing a fast qualifier award for the late models that night, which have been qualifying, and then we're going to, for the first time in a very long time, be qualifying the bombers that night. So
how do you anticipate that going? Because the bombers aren't used to the group qualifying.
I don't foresee any issues with it. Like I explained to Chrissy, this is one thing that when I was first starting in the first 5-7 years, there was something that was there was something about watching that qualifying and watching to where you ranked on a time trial, and it was just something to look forward to. So that was one thing that we've always strived. I've been trying to do it for the Bomber Spectacular for, I think, the last 3 or 4 years now. We keep trying to get them to do that, and finally, I think we finally got them to have their system capable over there to where it's not that big of an inconvenience for them to go through and actually get our time trials in. And I think I think the Bombers, the as far as how we're going to do it, I believe we're going to be doing group qualifying, 6 to 8 cars at a time, and just in group qualifying, very similar to, I think, how we do the modifieds when we have the summer national races.
Craig, you don't think that 6 or 8 cars could be a real issue, because between the front running cars and the back running cars, there's quite a time difference.
There is. However, I'll tell you right now, I went down to Wayne County, and when I qualified down there, the fastest lap, I had 2 cars to pass. My second lap of the 3 was the fastest, and I passed 2 cars during that. So
all right.
It is a challenge, but earlier in the night, I think there's enough track there that I think we can move around a little bit and get a hold of what you need to. And I just, the biggest thing I see is making sure that we get the amount of laps we need to out of the track. 3 or 4 cars,
not bad. I think 6 or 8 could be a real challenge.
It could be, and we'll see how. That's what I was basically told. That's what me and Chrissy had talked about, and we'll see what we can get arranged. I know.
Come back, Craig.
Craig's
in a little bit to do with.
Oh, there he is. I think. Wait, are you there?
I think we lost him for a minute.
Or he's deep in thought. He's kind of frozen on there.
All right. Why don't we
come back, Craig? Come back. Well, anyway, for Dippman Motorsports Night, I believe it's $1,500 to win for the late models, $500 for the sportsmen, $400 for bombers, and $100 for the compact.
Okay, yeah.
I gave him an extra 0 there. Sorry, I didn't mean to give everybody a heart attack. That's paying that out.
He can probably hear us, and I'll bet it scared him.
Yeah, try and get reconnected if you can there, Craig. There he goes. So that's this weekend at Oakshade Raceway. It's Dippman Motorsports Night. So there'll be
so in addition to money, will there be trophies? Or
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
And I think talking to Chrissy after last weekend, Craig wanted to get really big trophies. But unfortunately, because they got the fair coming up,
sure.
So the trophy company is really busy. So I think it's going to be just pretty much the standard trophies, but the extra payouts for the hard charger and winning will be interesting. So
I wonder if all the money is on the top or if it's going to pay through the field.
I don't know. I think it's on the top.
Okay,
but that was actually a question I was going to ask him. So if he pops back, we'll ask him that. But if not, we can move on here, and we'll be talking to Jordan here in just a few minutes as well.
She's in the green room.
She is in the green room.
Yeah,
I can see her.
I'll bet she can hear us.
She probably can. It's amazing the way that it works. Let's bust out a little bit of racing news here. We mentioned the Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe thing from this past weekend. So Denny Hamlin, originally, this thing's been going on all week too, but he originally was more pissed at Indy than he was with Chase Briscoe for spinning him out. Hamlin said, quote, "The track was a mess. These cars and curbs and all that stuff just doesn't go together." This is what he said, by the way. Incorrect English and all.
Well, and they had cars looking like pogo sticks with the curbs.
We're trying to force sports car racing into these fans. Although the finish was a crash fest, I'm sure everyone will love it. It's just stupid. It's a complete circus at the end of the race. You just roll the dice and hope you don't get crashed. Unquote. That's Denny Hamlin there. And then there was some more stuff I just read today. I didn't put in my notes here that I guess NASCAR or Fox or NBC released the radio chatter.
Oh yeah,
with the race, and
oh boy,
because originally, excuse me, Chase Briscoe said that he didn't know that he was going to be penalized. Which then he said that, well, you cut through the grass. Obviously, you're going to get penalized. You should have known. But Briscoe said he didn't get the radio communication, but apparently, excuse me, one of the guys said that there was a penalty and copy that or something. Where's turn 10? Because he had to do a stop and go in turn 10. And I guess whoever put the video out inadvertently tagged it as Chase Briscoe saying copy that when Chase says it was his spotter. So there was another Twitter war again between Denny and Chase saying, so you did know. And he's like, no, it wasn't me. And it's just a bunch of drama there. Anyway, the Flow Racing, that's Craig there. He's back. He's not back. We don't see you, Craig. Oh wait, he is coming back.
Oh, Craig is back.
All right. Well, before we get to the All-Star stuff, we'll bring Craig back in. What happened? Did you internet go away down there?
I'm not sure. I'm in the middle of nowhere, so really couldn't tell you on that one.
All right. Well, we just had a couple of things we wanted to end with here. One of the questions Ron had, you go ahead and ask.
Yeah, I was just wondering if the money you're putting into the purses is all on top, or is there going to be additional money throughout the field?
No, right now, everything I'm putting in is on top, with the exception of the hard charger and the fast qualifier awards. Okay. We are doing trophies. Chrissy's working on getting the trophies and the plaques. So there will be trophies that we have for the winners. And then the fast qualifier and the hard charger awards, there'll be plaques along with money prizes for them.
Some of our listeners may not know who Chrissy is. We talk about her all the time. It's Christina Henrik. She's, I think her title is promoter, and
I think she wears quite a few hats over there. Yes,
she's the pit boss. Don't mess with her.
Yes, yeah, she wears quite a few hats. Promoter's one of them. She's basically, if you go as a racer, that's the person you'll deal with over in the pits. Me as someone who's working with promotions on this, she's also the one working hand in hand with putting this promotion together.
I hear she runs the water truck sometimes.
Once in a while, I have talked to her on the weekdays and have caught her in a water truck a time or two. Yeah.
The only thing I've seen her in is her car and her little four-wheeler. I've never seen her in anything else.
Oh yeah.
When's the next time we're going to see you in the 74 car at Oakshade?
We're probably shooting. I'm right now. That's currently the 74 car will be showing up this weekend. The red one.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can.
You kind of let the cat out of the bag. I noticed.
Well, last week to recap last week we did have a couple of semi-retired drivers that we put in the car. Chuck Fowler was in the red 74 car. And John Martis was in the 97 car. And both of them basically last week, with the season ending at Lima and kind of relaxing a little bit, these two guys, Chuck Fowler, hands down every week, goes after my tires and helps me with, he's kind of my transportation specialist. He does a lot of logistics for me. So, he does that every week. I thought it would be good to get him out there, and we didn't get his car put together this year. So he got out there, and John Martis has really helped out the last half of the season with just around the shop, working on customer cars and helping me get to the racetrack every week. So it's just something that we did last week, and then last year, I made a commitment to a fellow racer I used to race with a long time ago. He hasn't been out lately, and I told him that I'd wind up getting him in a car this year. So Tom Ordway is going to be driving the 74 car, and We're going to see how he does this week. See if we can get that. We know the car's capable of winning. Getting up there and mixing it up with them top 3, 4, or 5 guys. So
he's definitely a capable driver. He's capable of winning.
He was a little hesitant at first, but I believe after that first lap of hot laps, I think it all goes
You mean
away. Qualifying / hot laps. Yeah. Correct. Yes. I think it all goes away. I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see him come around a lot quicker than he believes it will be.
Any confrontations expected between him and the 55 car?
I don't believe any at all. I believe it'll all be left out on the track, and I'm hoping kind of like earlier in the year, getting to. That was just a great thing earlier in the year when Taylor had the red car out there and led the first 3 or 4 laps of the A main, and I got to wrestle that away from her. That was something that you don't get to do very often, and that was something that played in, and it was an awesome night. I hope Tom and Colin get that privilege this week too.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Craig. Go enjoy your anniversary. Stop talking racing for a little bit until Saturday, at least.
Well, I've been managing to do that. I pretty much put the phone down most of the week. So, yep, one more night away. We'll be heading back tomorrow. And one other thing is we do have everything is aligned that we're going to have our Dippman Motorsports, our new Dippman Motorsports T-shirts in tomorrow afternoon. So anybody that has contacted me in the past about, we finally do have that order coming in. I think we got close to 320 shirts or so. So we should have them for sale this weekend at the racetrack, and try to get some of them dialed out tomorrow night if works out for people.
Awesome. Looking forward.
Excellent. To it. Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you this weekend, Craig.
Yep. Later.
See you, buddy.
Yep. Bye.
There you go. Craig Dippman Motorsports Night this weekend at Oakshade Raceway, Saturday night to be exact. I forget which one of these is mine. That's you, isn't it? This one's me. Yep, that one's me. I just turned that up. Sorry.
I think they both kind of worked mine. I don't know.
We'll get to Jordan here in just a moment. The Flow Racing All-Star Circuit of Champions return to action tomorrow night at I-96 Speedway in Lake Odessa, Michigan. And Saturday, the event originally scheduled for Plymouth Speedway was canceled due to the predicted rain.
Yeah.
Was it? I thought that sounded a little fishy. Okay.
It did.
Well, that's why we got,
just a little farther down.
Just a little further down. We got some more on the Plymouth deal there. But so anyway, it was rescheduled for Waynesfield, or moved to Waynesfield, I should say, on Saturday night. Shane Helms at Waynesfield Raceway Park agreed to take the event and co-sanction it with the originally scheduled Fast series on dirt that are there. So it'll be All-Stars and Fast. And they're going to bring in the NRA Sprint Invaders in addition to that show. The Boss non-wing sprints were originally scheduled. That has been moved to a date in October. So a little bit of schedule shuffling there at the last minute. So the All-Stars at I-96 Friday and Waynesfield on Saturday. Before we get to the other thing, JR Motorsports or Junior Motorsports, whatever you want to call it, the officials announced Monday that Josh Berry will drive full-time in the Xfinity Series next season. Berry made a significant splash in the Xfinity Series circuit this season, earning a victory at Martinsville Speedway this past April. In 16 Xfinity starts, he padded his resume with 4 top 5 and 9 top 10 finishes. So pretty good deal for Mr. Berry. Formula One officials confirmed Wednesday that the Japanese Grand Prix has been canceled, with the race organizer citing the ongoing complexities related to the COVID-19 pandemic as the reason for the cancellation. The event was originally scheduled to be held the day after my birthday, October 10th, at Suzuka International Racing Course, which I believe that's where the NASCAR guys ran in like the 90s. couple times. So, yeah.
Indeed.
Cade Dillard is dropping off the World of Outlaw Late Model Tour. Cade wanted to be home for his daughter's first. Did you hear about this story? It was kind of an interesting story.
Yeah, it was.
He wanted to be home for his daughter's first day of school, which was actually today, as a matter of fact. There was also a World of Outlaw race scheduled for today. And per World of Outlaw rules, if you miss one race, you get no money or no point money at the end of the year, unless it's one of their excused reasons. And being present for your daughter's first day of school is not one of the excused reasons. So Dillard made the hard choice there to drop off the World of Outlaw Late Model Tour, even though he sits sixth in points currently, and he's going to focus on hitting marquee events for the rest of the season. So I think he made the right call. I mean, you got to put family first.
Absolutely.
Tough deal for him, though. Paul McMahon, we mentioned that Knoxville was hurt, taken to the hospital. He did suffer a concussion last Friday night. He's going to be out at least 2 weeks. Ian Madsen will step in to drive the team number 5. The team's number 5 starting this weekend with the All-Star Circuit Champion events at I-96 in Waynesfield.
Wasn't Madsen kind of suddenly terminated a couple of weeks ago by?
I think you're thinking of Aaron Reitzel.
Okay.
Because that's next year. Casey Kane has replaced Aaron Reitzel in the Roth Motorsports number 83 for the rest of the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series season. Reitzel was, of course, suspended by the World of Outlaws last month and has since left the team. So, it's driver shifting. And then the last note I got here, Plymouth Speedway in Indiana, which was supposed to be hosting that
All-Star show.
Yeah, they're going to be switching from dirt to asphalt.
Well, it was asphalt, and they put dirt on it 2 years ago, I think.
That's like Chris Mize's dream over at Sandusky. Put dirt on. How do you make a racetrack successful? Put dirt on it.
Absolutely.
But this is going backwards. They're going to asphalt it again.
And well, I think the asphalt's there, and they're hoping that it's okay. Yeah. And they're going to be working with another track,
South Bend.
Yeah, and common rules. And
they're going to run some template outlaw late model shows. I believe I read. So
I don't know. It seems right now that the pavement tracks are struggling a bit, Scott. I'm just not sure that it's the right
time to
yeah,
go.
Exactly.
All right. Well, how about we talk about some dirt here with Dirt Is My Glitter?
Yeah.
Let's bring Jordan in. Jordan.
There she is.
Hello.
Jordan Wittes. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Great.
Good. Now, you are the brains and functionality behind Dirt Is My Glitter, right?
Yes.
Tell us, give everybody a little bit of background of what what Dirt Is My Glitter is and what you do and why you do it.
So I actually started taking pictures about 3 years ago with my phone, just for fun. I love taking photos. I had a camera, but it was broken, so I didn't use it. And last year I got a new camera, and it was around the same time that Missler got his new car. So I had this idea, like, what if I do a driver every week and just showcase them, talk to them, do an article, not much, but do my pictures. And I got a hold of Amber, and I was like, hey, do you think that Ryan would be up for this? And we talked about it for probably a month and a half before it happened. And I wanted to coincide it with his comeback. So I did that, and we were talking, like, how are we going to keep picking the next driver? Because I didn't want to do it. I wanted somebody else to be able to pick whether it was going to be voting. Well, I had talked to my husband, and he's like, why don't they pick the next one? And it's just gone on from there. I did it about half a season last year, and I picked the first one this year, which was Amy Claire, who is one of my really, really good friends. And she actually yelled at me for picking her because she doesn't like the attention. Yeah. And she's like, I hate you. I was like, you love me. You're just going to do it anyway. And of course, she picked Jamie, and it's just gone on. And everybody has taken it so well. Like, it could have bombed. I could have done it a couple of times last year, and people could have been like, nope, I don't want to do it. But everybody has been so good about talking to me. I mean, I don't talk to a lot of people, I know quite a few people now for sure, but I don't really talk to a lot of people. If you see me at the track, it's usually with the camera in my hand and I stay in one spot the whole time. But I can get the entire field from that point of view. I've been taking pictures my entire life. So this was kind of like that next step. I was like, well, how can I get my pictures out here? And I thought that was a great idea. And it gives everybody else kind of like an insight to the other drivers. And you see who appreciates the next driver. Like some of these people, I've been shocked about who they've picked, and I love it because I never know who's going to pick the next person, like who's going to be next. I'm just as surprised as everybody else is.
Okay. So this is more of just like a hobby for you, and you love racing.
Yeah. I've been around cars my entire life. My dad had a shop. I worked on cars with him, and I actually work at a dealership. So, I mean, cars are literally my entire life. But I love racing. I love being able to take pictures, and I just found a way to make both of them work.
Where can people find you, Jordan?
I'm on Instagram with DirtIsMyGlitter, and I'm on Facebook as well. I also have an email. It's just DirtIsMyGlitter419@gmail.com.
So where did the Dirt Is My Glitter come from?
I was on Pinterest, if you can believe it, and I was just looking up race car stuff, and I seen it, and I was like, "That's perfect." Because I mean, everybody knows that goes to a dirt track. When you get home, you are caked in dirt, and where I stand, there's no getting out of it. Like I find dirt days after, and I can shower like 5 times a day, and I'll still find dirt.
I still think the flagman's the dirtiest.
Oh, absolutely. I never realized that, Scott, but oh
yeah, I see him at the beginning of the night, then at the end of the night.
He's a real dirt magnet.
It's really good if they have goggles on and he takes them off. You can see the transition. It's like,
yeah,
wow, it looks like you're doing something culturally inappropriate sometimes. So, but anyway, moving on. Is the driver of the week this deal? Is this limited to just Oakshade drivers? Is this open to anybody? I mean, obviously you're at the track at Oakshade.
Right. It's just at Oakshade right now. I would love to go to other tracks. I went down to Eldora when Ryan was down there and spent the weekend down there to see if I could get some good pictures of some people I've never gotten pictures of. And I got some decent ones. They weren't my favorite just because I didn't know that you had to have a media pass, and you definitely did. So I was just kind of making it work, standing on the back of his 4-wheeler, trying to get pictures as they're going by. And I'd never been there before. And I didn't realize the speed difference between there and Oakshade. Like I take probably 2,000 pictures every Saturday, but I'm constantly taking pictures from one end of the track to the other. And if it works out, I get really great pictures. Sometimes it doesn't, but most of the time, I think I get some pretty decent ones.
Agreed. So you're not just a photographer. You don't just work at a dealership. You actually own some race cars too.
I do. I own 2. My son, Dylan, he raced the 0 Wittes car this year. That's my car. He's the one that rolled. I don't know how else to describe it. He rolled. But he put a lot of work into it. We all put a lot of work into it. He's going to college this fall. So he decided after the birthday race, he was going to be done. And my cousin Dylan, he's named after, has been racing out at Oakshade on and off for years and years. He started out in a Hornet, moved up to a Bomber, and I gave him the opportunity to use my motor and put it in my husband's car to go out and race this year. So he's racing the 5H and the Bombers this year at the end of the season, and hopefully we can keep that going.
So have you ever had the urge to go out and drive yourself?
So, funny story. I raced my car one time last year, failed miserably, and I was done. Like, I wanted to be taking the pictures. I was too worried about getting taken. Um, I had a friend there using my camera, and he had never taken pictures like that before. And that's all I could think about was, okay, how are the pictures are turning out? Like, and I'm just too obsessive about that to get in that race car.
So you were worried about the
But
pictures and not focusing on the racing.
exactly. And I was just like, you know what? I'd much rather be behind the camera. I'll put other people in my car. I don't care. I had a street car a long time ago, a couple of them. I had a Supra and I had a Mustang. And I mean, at some point, I kind of grew up a little bit. I couldn't, keep racing with that, but I got back into it this way. So I'm happy with it.
All right. Well, you plan to keep the Dirt Is My Glitter Driver of the Week deal going through the end of this season and into next season, I assume.
I'm hoping everybody keeps wanting me to do it. I will keep doing it as long as everybody is still happy with it.
Now, and you fund this yourself? I mean,
yeah.
You have any kind of sponsors or anything?
I don't take any money. I don't. I do this all myself. Every week, the driver of the week gets a frame with pictures that I've taken of them and their car.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, you've gotten yours last week. I never have ever taken money for my pictures, ever. I love doing it, and I love that, I can highlight a driver every week for them. Yes, those are it.
Yeah, some pretty cool shots. Awesome. Well, as a driver, I'd say you're doing a great job. Continue. I think it's kind of cool.
Thank you.
No, it really is. And everybody appreciates a little bit of notoriety.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I've had people message me, hey, do you have pictures of this car? And I know I do. I mean, I have pictures of all of the cars. It's just if I could get through all of them, I can't post 2,000 pictures a week. I would not have a day job. But if you want to know if I have a picture of you, message me. I probably do. 9 times out of 10, within like 5 minutes of somebody messaging me, I'll send them 3 or 4 edits that I have. And I'm like, here you go. Like, these are your pictures. If you want more, just let me know. I'll take a look at, I have them all categorized by week. So if you're looking for a certain week, I can look back and see what I have.
Wow. You're going to need a bigger hard drive or something if you keep doing this for a while.
I've already gotten to that point, actually.
I believe it.
So, yeah, I definitely need a bigger hard drive. I started looking recently, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely need more storage.
So Dirt Is My Glitter on Instagram and Facebook. And what was the email address once again?
It's DirtIsMyGlitter419@gmail.com.
There you go. That's how you can get a hold of Jordan then.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys. The more my pictures get out there, it just makes me happy. I love taking them, and I love everybody's reaction to them.
Awesome. Cool. We'll appreciate it.
And we like making people happy, Scott.
See?
I don't. I could care less, honestly.
Oh,
I'm a son of a bitch.
Oh, turkey.
Well, thanks for coming on, Jordan, and telling us a little bit more about the Driver of the Week deal.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Jordan.
We'll see you this weekend.
See ya.
All right, bye. So there you go. Story behind the Dirt Is My, because I kind of heard seen some things about it, and I wasn't really, I saw it. And then Roscoe Stetton he's one that nominated me.
Right.
He pulled in a couple weeks ago, comes right up behind my truck as he's pulling in. He's like, I nominated you for the Driver of the Week. I'm like,
what?
Yeah, what? What'd I do? You're going to get a call. I was like, the Dirt Is My Glitter thing. I was like, oh, okay. I think I do remember seeing that. Okay. That makes sense. So yeah. So thanks, Roscoe, for that. Yeah. So we move on now.
Cool.
check out our Twitter poll results before we get to giving away a
Pizza.
Big D's Pizza. Yeah, we're going long again. Let's do this. Share the cam. Share screen.
While you're doing that, did you see on the crawl over there that Rusty has quick time at I-96?
I see that.
That's pretty cool.
He's been on. They had an article on him on the Dirt on Dirt website, I think it was.
Okay.
Something about he's got a big smile on his face
Yeah,
because he's been
bet.
winning a lot. So, yeah, he's definitely making it happen. So, this week's Twitter poll at Hammer Report, you can follow us on Twitter, was what do you think about the Hell Tour, the UMP Dirt Car Summer Nationals new schedule that started last year because of the pandemic? I thought it was just a 1-year thing due to the pandemic that they were kind of stretching it out, but they started late because of it was probably just a pain in the butt trying to schedule that anyway. So I felt bad for them, but they continued it this year, started in June, and it's going to be ending this weekend. So August,
almost into September.
Yeah. So it's almost like a full long deal, but they had a break, but
gave the guys a chance to go on vacation.
Yeah. There's the results. 12 it's really tiny in there. 12.5% said they like the longer schedule. Overwhelmingly 81.3% are for the old way, which was like 30-day 28 races in 30 days.
I'm sure you saw Dan Rice's response to this.
I did.
He said it's no longer the Hell Tour, it's just the Heck Tour.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. And 6.3% said
they don't care.
Late models suck.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a Twitter.
So much from the open wheel guys.
There you go. I got to give Ron Miller Race Cars a plug here. Ron Miller Race Cars, Lambertville, Michigan. That's where we're at. Ron Miller Race Car Studio.
Yeah.
Shop's right out back, as a matter of fact.
It is. About 100 feet back.
Yeah. 734-856-7223. Give them a call for race cars, parts, safety, equipment, service, everything a racer needs. It sounded like you were just putting in a new motor in your car, or a borrowed
Well, it's
motor.
not new. It's a slightly used bullet,
transplant.
but yeah.
Because you've been having a lot of issues the past.
Well,
few
and I
weeks.
thought we had that squared away. We didn't, so we pulled it out, and boy, it was really a good thing. The next lap, it may have been catastrophic.
All right. Well, I got the fan shroud from you the week before last.
Right.
So
I
it was
forgot
the
to
first-
ask you how that worked.
I did. It worked great.
Yeah.
I've been running 230, almost 240 some nights.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because it was cooler on Saturday night or if it was the fan shroud. Maybe both, but I think 210 was about as.
Ooh, and
warm as I
that's
got.
perfect, Scott.
Yeah. So I was happy with
your
that.
motor will be very happy there.
It seemed to like being after the race. Usually it just wanted to die. Like,
Yeah.
I'm tired. It kept running.
that's
I didn't
cool.
have to. So yeah. Last week's how many street stocks were going to be at the Josh Neff Memorial at Sandusky?
Yep,
Yeah. Remember that?
I do.
Okay. Do you remember how many you guessed?
I don't.
Yeah. Well, it was wrong, whatever it was. It was more than 35 because that's what I guessed. and-
Unlike the week before where I nailed
yeah,
it.
yes,
so
yeah. The actual number was 27 street stocks there at Sandusky this past weekend. I was closest with 35. I went with the under you and Jerry. Online, our winner was Jackie Ulam, I believe is how you pronounce her name.
yeah.
Jerry knows how to pronounce her name. She had 32. She was the closest of our online listeners. So this
that was big money for street stocks.
6,000?
6,000 to win. I'm
Yeah.
still surprised that
Only
it wasn't
27.
bigger.
Yeah. Weird. I would have converted my car to a asphalt car, I think.
Yes.
Maybe.
See what the rules say.
Do
Do you have to have a windshield?
Yeah.
Buy 4 tires and
Can you just put plastic?
I don't know.
Probably be hard to see through, but this week's how many and your chance to win a Big D's pizza. We're going to Fremont this weekend, and we're going to do how many 305s are going to be at the fair race on Tuesday.
Ooh.
And that's an AFCS event. So
Oh,
Connecticut
that's-
Fremont Championship.
Okay.
Series.
I thought in the past that was an invitation only race. So if it's an AFCS race, Yeah, that could make it big.
Yeah. And our weekend weather pit stop forecast, Ryan Weekman actually went out and forecasted for Tuesday just a bit too. So
really,
I'm not going to give a teaser there because that might change your guess. So since I won, I guess I have to pick first, huh?
Yes, you do.
Darn it.
That's the rule, Scott.
Darn it. What have they been averaging? It's been pretty good.
30.
It's been more than that, hasn't it? Has it only been 30? Maybe I'm thinking of the trucks. They've been having a lot of trucks.
Yeah, they've been
there.
having 35, 36 trucks.
I'm going to go with 29.
30.
You're going with 30?
Of course.
Okay.
Sucked you right in on that one, buddy.
Yeah. All right. Well, those are written down, so you can't change now. So if it does rain out, then I would be the closest with 0 being.
It's not going to rain out.
I hope not. They've had bad luck though in the past. That show with the weather. If you want a chance to win a Big D's pizza, a lot of you already know what to do. Just leave your guess in the comments of our Facebook Live. And is that a pool table in the background? Yeah, that's a pool table back there.
Yeah,
where the flags are. We have
yeah.
And if you guess twice, you get the black flag that's back there. But yeah, just put your guess in for how many 305s it will be at Fremont on Tuesday in the comments of our Facebook Live. If you're listening to us, and a lot of people do, I've talked to a lot of people that say they listen to us on like Apple Podcasts, or they just listen to the audio
on YouTube
while they're working or whatever.
Sure.
And I think that we put you to sleep. That's just me, but I appreciate you doing that. So if you are one of those listeners and you're listening to us over the weekend, we'll give you until Monday at midnight. So you got the whole weekend.
Okay, sure.
This. Yeah. So if you're listening to us, it's Sunday evening.
Yeah, and they can listen to us Monday at work.
Yeah, or Monday at work. Yeah, just hit up facebook.com/hammerdown racing report and just find this video. It'll be up there, one of the more recent posts, and put your guess in. It's just that easy. So yeah, it looks like we got some guesses ranging from 29.
Looks like mid 30s.
Yeah, we'll see. And of course, the winner will get a Big D's pizza, just like Jackie got a Big D's pizza for getting that guess right for the street stocks at
Sandusky.
Yeah. So there you go. Before we get to the weekend weather pit stop, we'll go through this weekend's Big D's racing menu. Tomorrow night, Attica Raceway Park is in action with the American Wash Systems, Ferguson Waterworks, Morgan Stanley Night. That's not enough sponsors. I think they need more.
Yeah.
410s, they actually Attica Fremont Championship Series 410 Sprints, UMP Late Models, Attica Fremont Championship Series 305s. Gates open at 5, racing at 7:45. General admission is $18. That's tomorrow night at Attica Raceway Park. Saturday night, you got a few choices here. You got Oakshade Raceway with Dippman Motorsports Night. $1,500 to win for the late models, $500 to win for the sportsmen, $400 to win for the bombers, compacts $100 to win. Contrary to the $1,000 to win that you might have heard earlier tonight, that was false. It's $100 to win for the compacts.
Yeah, obviously Scott misspoke on that one.
Gates open at 4, racing at 7, unless the sponsor wants to come forward and put in some extra money there.
Yeah,
$900 worth of extra money. Go for it. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. That's Oakshade Raceway. General admission just $14. Flat Rock Speedway in action with the Harris Mechanical Season Championships. It's that time. Lima Land's really already done, and now Flat Rock's got their season championships with the Outlaw Super Late Models, Street Stocks, Late Model Sportsman. Front gates open at 4:30, racing at 7. General admission is $18. Shady Bowl in action with the Must-See Sprints. That's pretty cool. Street Stock shootout, $15.75 to win. It's DARF night. You get a half off general admission for members of DARF. Late models in action, Crown Vics, $600 to win, and the compact. So big night there. Check out Jerry Nelson down there. Grandstand gates open at 4, racing at 7. I don't know how much general admission is. Usually it's like $15 there, but I don't know.
Don't know.
Sandusky Speedway in action once again, this time with modifieds, pure stocks, renegades, and beginner stocks. Pit gates open at 3. Spectator gates at 4, racing at 7. General admission just $12 there at Sandusky Speedway. As we mentioned earlier, Waynesfield Raceway Park, doing that abbreviated season thing again. This is one of the weekends they're in action with the Fast on Dirt Wing Sprints and the All-Star Circuit of Champions. It's a co-sanctioned event, plus the NRA Sprint Invaders. Pit gates open at 3. Admission gates open at 4, racing at 7, general admission $25 for that show. And Montpelier Motor Speedway in Montpelier, Indiana. It's the back to school special with a driver's meet and greet, food specials, and kids 12 and under are free. The UMP modified super stocks and the Hornets in action, gates open at 4:45, racing 7:30, general admission is $12. And then Tuesday, Fremont Speedway in action. Fremont not racing Saturday. They'll be racing on Tuesday with the fair race. Attica Fremont Championship Series 305 sprints. And I was looking, they got a lot of sponsors and a lot going on for that.
I'll bet
Tuesday,
they do.
Yeah. Vintage Cars will also be racing on Tuesday.
You know, how cool would that be, Scott? I mean, it has to be a huge crowd, the electricity around a fair.
You got the fair going on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You got a crowd already there, whether they're there for racing or not.
That has to be really cool.
Yeah. Sports Center. Yeah. How about we check out Ryan Weekman with that weekend weather pit stop forecast and give you a little spoiler alert. This weekend it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here you go.
Here is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman, and I'll say this. We're looking at a very nice weekend ahead by and large for us here. Temperatures that'll be warm as well. Each afternoon, highs will get well into the 80s. Let's start off down in Attica. Friday evening, 7:45. Temperatures will be probably in the mid-70s at the start time there. Mostly sunny skies will give way to clear conditions overnight. Saturday, we got Oakshade, Flat Rock, Shady Bowl, Sandusky, Waynesfield, and Montpelier. Again, all races looking good. Very likely to be dry. Highs in the upper 80s for Saturday afternoon. Race temperatures will probably start off in the lower 80s and drop into the 70s by late in the evening. And for next Tuesday, looking ahead towards Fremont, things do get a little more interesting. A system approaches from the west could spell some rain chances here. We'll keep a close eye on it as we get a little bit closer. Let's look at your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. Don't forget, download that First Alert weather app. It's free, and we'll keep you ahead of any rain, showers, or thunderstorms that do manage to develop over the next few weeks and the rest of the racing season.
There he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully he's wrong. It happens sometimes. So hopefully get that Tuesday.
Well, and it's approaching from the west, so timing is going to be
everything's
everything.
approaching from, well, usually.
No, there are some of the southeastern counties that got torrential rain this morning, Scott.
Wasn't it yesterday? It was like raining over the east part of Toledo.
Yeah.
We got nothing over here.
Yeah,
nothing. Flooding on the other side. Anyway. Yeah, so a couple miles could make a huge difference. Once again, thanks to our associate producer, Dave Kimmer, field correspondents, Matt Swander, John Young, and Doug Dock. Forgot John Young last week. He thought he got fired.
Oh,
I gave him 100% pay raise. So I think he's good. Yeah. We take care of our people.
Yep. You're really generous.
I know. We do have a Hammer Down hotline this week. If you want to call and leave a message anytime to be on the show for whatever reason, there you go. 419-318-3081. That's 419-318-3081. Call anytime. This one came in a little bit before the show last week. But if you want to make sure that it makes the show, leave the message before Thursday so I have time to actually access it. Oh, you got a lot of stuff going on there. Must be time to get out of here. So this is last week's Hammer Down hotline. And it's not the same guy that normally calls.
Really?
It's a different guy. Yeah. I think you might recognize this guy. I think.
Hello. Long-time listener, first-time caller. My name's Peter. And I'm just calling. I heard that one guy on the show, that Jerry Keyser, heard he's celebrating a birthday. And I just wanted to wish him a happy birthday and say, that guy really deserves a sprint car ride. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that happened.
Yeah.
So I want to wish Jerry a belated birthday. You celebrated his birthday all last week. Yeah, that'd be quite a birthday present, though. Sprint car ride?
Yeah.
Late model ride? Speaking of which, I'm wearing my War Paint graphics shirt.
Ooh, yeah.
And I got a message from Alan today.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's going to be having some different drivers in the 97 in the War Paint house car.
I saw that.
Did you?
Rumor mill moves fast. Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think it's a secret or anything, but I bet we're not saying. There can be some different drivers for the rest of the season in the 97 car out for Paint Graphics. We'll be back next week, next Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Another fun-filled show, Hammer Down Racing Report. Don't forget to call the Hammer Down hotline, 419-318-3081. Yeah, that's 419-318-3081. Check out HammerDownRacingReport.com for pretty much anything you need to know that's Hammer Down Racing Report related. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
We'll see you next week.
Or Saturday at some
Dippman
race.
Motorsports Night.
Yeah.
Or Friday night at Attica or Tuesday at Fremont.
Just make sure you get to a racetrack somewhere, folks.
Yeah. And tell them the Hammer Down Racing Report sent you. It won't do anything for you, and they'll be like, what? Just do it. We'll see ya.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.